Welcome, reception learners. My name's Olivia and this is lesson 31. For this lesson, you will need your watchful eyes, your listening ears, and you might need something to write on or something to write with. If you've been listening along, you might have met my friend Joe and Carlo. Do you remember Carlo? Great news. Carlo's able to go back to school. While Joe's helping him get ready, I'm going to be learning with you today. I've brought some clues along to see if you can guess what we're going to be learning about today. I have a ruler and a measuring tape. I have a measuring jug with some numbers on it and some scales. Can you guess what we're learning about? That's right. Did you guess? Today, we're learning about measurement. Our learning intention for today is to explore where we use measurement and the kinds of things that we can measure. So we're going to have a closer look at the tools that I've brought today. I might just move Carlo so there's room for our new words that we're learning. The first tool that we're having a look at today is the measuring tape. Can you think of something that you would use a measuring tape to measure? You might like to write that down or draw a picture on your piece of paper. I'm going to have a think too. When have I used a measuring tape? Let's think. What did you draw on your piece of paper? I've drawn a window. I used a measuring tape to measure how long a window is for my new curtains. When we measure how long something is, we call that length. Have you seen this word before? Length. Let's look at our next tool. It's a measuring jug. It looks like something might go inside and it has numbers. Have you used a measuring jug before? What could you measure? Again, you could write down your ideas on your paper, or you might like to try and do a drawing. When have I used a measuring jug? Can you guess what I've drawn? I've drawn some jelly because I used a measuring jug to measure how much water I needed to pour into my jelly. When we're measuring how much something can hold, we call that capacity. Have you seen this word before? Capacity. And I'm just going to move measurement so we've got room for some more new learning. Our last tool today is our kitchen scales. You might have seen scales like this in your kitchen or maybe even in your bathroom. Can you think of something that you might measure with scales? I'm going to have a think too. Once you've got an idea, write it down on your piece of paper. What did you draw? I've drawn an apple because I had to weigh how many apples I needed for my apple pie. When we're measuring how heavy something is, we call that mass. Have you heard of the word mass before? Sometimes we call this weight as well. You might have heard of the word weight. Have you heard of the story Goldilocks? You might remember that Goldilocks had to find a bowl, a chair, and a bed that were just the right size for her. Did you know that Goldilocks was actually measuring when she was finding what was just right for her? So, what is measurement? Measurement is finding out about the size, the shape, how heavy something is, or maybe how much something can hold. We decide what to measure when we have a reason to measure. Can you think of the reasons why we need to measure things? You might be wondering why I've got these shoes here. I'm wondering if you can tell which shoe is just right for me. Let's take a closer look. This shoe is long and wide. I think this one might be too big for me. This shoe is much shorter and not as wide. I think this one might be too small. One left. Let's take a look. This shoe is smaller than this one, but bigger than this one. I think this shoe is just right for me. So what is measurement? Measurement is finding out about the size or shape of an object, or maybe how heavy it is, or even how much it can hold. We decide what we measure when we have a reason to measure. Can you think of some reasons why we might need to measure things? Have a think. I've had a think. Some of the ideas that I came up with are so that we can make sure that we're on time, to make sure that our clothes fit us, so that we can build buildings, and so that we could cook maybe a birthday cake or your dinner. What ideas did you come up with? Some words that you might hear while we're learning more about measurement are heavy, heavier, heaviest, holds more or holds less, estimate, of course measurement, and attribute. Don't worry if you don't know what all these words mean yet. We're going to be learning as we go along. Just before we finish our lesson today, I need your help with something. You might remember at the beginning of the lesson, I let you know the exciting news that Carlo can head back to school. We need to get his bag ready. Can you help me? Here's Carlo's bag. What kinds of things might we need to put in his bag? Here's Carlo's drink bottle. Will this fit in his bag? It's quite heavy. It has a lot of water in it for Carlo's day at school. Let's try. Yes, that fits. What's next? Carlo's lunchbox. Will this fit in Carlo's bag with his drink bottle? What do you think? Let's try. Yes, it fits. Carlo loves dinosaurs, and this is his favourite book. He really wants to take it to school to share with his friends. I hope it will fit. What do you think? Should we give it a try? Oh, yes, it just fits. Carlos loves drawing, and this is his sketchbook. He really wants to take it to school to show his teacher some of the drawings he's been doing while he's been learning at home. Is this going to fit in Carlo's bag? Do you think? Will it fit? Let's have a try. Oh, it's too long. Never mind. Carlo will have to take his book another day. Thanks for your help. While you're at home, you might like to notice things that you can measure in your home or in your neighbourhood. Have a think about places like your local playground or maybe the different rooms in your home. Where have you seen measurement or people measuring? Today, we've learnt that measuring is finding out more about the size or the shape of something, how heavy it might be, or even how much it can hold. We've learnt that we use measurement all the time, every day, often without even noticing, just like Goldilocks. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.